So for shell redirection, let me just go through the resource. So I'll use that to explain. Okay. So so he said we've seen many commands like ls print their output. So we all know that ls will print out. So someone is. Please, can you mute yourself? Let me just mute the person. Okay, good. Muted the person. Okay, so as we all know that ls. LS will allow us print to the display. Just if you type, let me see, it's vacant or I don't know. These vacants saying, just keep on saying error. Oh, okay, I know what to do. When it allow it to work, it's rubbish. Okay, so as we all know that the LS will make us display to the screen. This does not have to be the case, however. By using some special notation, we can redirect the output of many commands to files, device, and blah blah blah. So I would explain this. So we have something we call standard output and then standard input, and then we'll be going through piping, that's pipeline, and then the last one is what is it? Filter. So these are the four things you just need to know here. Okay, four major things. Okay, so the first one is standard output. Standard output is whatever is, for example, let me clear the screen. So let us cd to our home. Okay. Okay. So let us create another file for redirection. Make direction redirect. Okay. So let's go into redirect. Nothing inside. Okay. So for example, let's say we have a file. Let's echo into this file. A file 1. Let's say we have a file 1 inside our redirect folder now. Okay. So if I do cat file 1, so this command showing me what is inside this file is what we call standard output. It is printing the content of file 1 into what you can see, and output is bringing it out. Okay, so when if I'm doing this, if I do vi file 1 now, okay, and I'm sorry, and I'm doing this, this is what they call standard input, because I'm inputting into the command, right? I'm inputting it, and standard input is basically with your keyboard, is what you do with your keyboard. Standard output is what is coming out of the command or anything. Okay, so this, we are now redirecting those inputs that is coming in, and those things that is coming out. That is all what redirection is about. Okay, so we'll go deeper into it and see. So now it says standard, most commands line program that display their results do so by sending their results to a facility called standard output, which is this that we have here. So this is standard output. So when we run a command, it will send the result to the standard output so that you can see the output, okay, of that particular file. Okay, so by default, standard output directs its content to the display. Okay, so by default, it will, when you do cat file 1, it will display the content to our display. It will display the output because it's coming out. It will display it to our display. So to redirect that standard output to a file, we use this greater than sign. Okay, so for example, I can say um, if I cut file 1 now, you see I have 2 lines of code, right? So if I don't want it to display it, that output that is coming out, I want to transfer that output into another file. So I'll say cat file 1. I know that when a cat file 1, there's an output coming out. Then I will redirect that output. So this greater than sign is the redirection that we are talking about now. That is a redirection. So the output that is coming out here, which is all these words, I'm redirecting them to a file. I'll now say direct them to this file called file 2. Enter. So when I leave the content, you see that I have file 2 now. And if I check the content of file 2, it will also be the content of file 1. Do you understand this? Should I continue?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, clear.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, very well. So that
Yes,
is it. We are
please.
redirecting. All right. So we are redirecting the output. So we have another example for standard output and the redirection. In this example, the ls command is executed and the results are written in a name file this. Okay. So uh, since the output of ls was redirected by no results appear on the display, yes we know. So each time the command above is repeated, blah 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 blah. I will explain all this. Okay. So let me clear it. When I do ls, right, we have another output here. This is the standard output. Okay. I can also, hey, hope I've not closed this tab. Okay. I can also redirect that command to a file called file table. Okay. I'll just do like this and do file table. Enter. Okay. If I list it, it has created file 3. If I check what is inside file 3, I'll see I have where is it? ls. I have all the content of ls inside. Okay, so let me say, let me add the file called file 4. So if I check the content of file 3, you see I have file 1, file 2, file 3, which is the stuff that I've imputed into it already. Okay, so the problem with one greater than sign is that if I now do ls again, ls again is now having 4 files. Okay, and I redirect that 4 files into, okay, I'm looking at an example that I can use. Okay, let me use echo. Okay, that would be better. So if I say cat file 1, okay, I have 2 lines of 2 stuff here, right? 2 standard out. This is the standard output. I want to put the standard output into a file called ports. Okay, so I say cat file 1 into ports. Okay, so I'm inside ports. I'm supposed to have this. So if I do ls and I check ports, I'm having this too, right? So if I now say you know that file 3 is having another content. If I now say cat file, let me press file 3. Look at file 3, right? I now say cat file 3 into ports. And I check the content of file of port now. You see that the content of port has been replaced with this, and what is inside port before has disappeared. So if I want to append, I don't want it to disappear, I would use the two greater than sign. Okay, so it will not delete what is inside before. So let me clear it and let me, oh, what happened? Let me clear my screen. ls Let me remove all the files. File 1, file 2, file 3, file 4, and port. Okay, let me clear. Okay, so if I do ls, I don't have anything. So let me create a file now. Let me echo something into a file. Echo I am a man into file called file 1. Echo I am a woman into a file called file 2. So now file 1 has I am a one, file 2 has I am a woman, right? So if I create another file called file 3, I now say that cat file 1, this is supposed to display what is inside file 1, right? And I put this greater than sign, and I said everything that is coming out, put it inside file 3. Okay, or let me use another name. Put it inside new file. Okay, so everything that is here, put it inside new file. So if I press enter and I check what is inside new file, let me use the less now. New file. Okay, you see that I am a man is what is there. Okay. That is what is inside this new file now, right? So now we have 3 files, new files. Okay, so now if I now say cat file 2 into new file, okay, and I press enter and I check what is inside new file, you see I am a woman. It has deleted I am a man, replaced it with I am a woman. Okay, so if I don't want it to delete what is there, I don't want it to delete I am a woman. So what I will do is I will say cat file 1, which is I am a man, and then append. Don't delete what is there before. Just put this one, add it to it, to new file. Okay, and then I check what is inside new file now. You see I have both I am a man, a woman, and I am a man. So this is what I want to explain. So do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Note
I
that we
want to
can
ask a
also.
question.
Okay.
Does cat and less mean the same thing?
Yes.
Or can it be used?
Yes, but it's different in the sense that cat will write everything on your screen. Less would open like a buffer, like a new screen, show you what is there, page by page, and then you can quit from there and come back to your prompt. For example, if I do less of new file, okay, and I press enter, you see that it opens like a new window, and then I can see what is inside. So for me to, and it's showing that it has ended here. Okay, so for me to exit this now, I'll press Q on my keyboard. Okay, and then it will bring me back to this place without displaying that I am a woman, I am a man on my screen. But if I do cat new file, it's going to just display it and continue.
Just a follow up. So the man
Yes,
command and less actually behave the same way.
yes. But man will have details about that
Yes,
particular
yes, yes. I
command.
know, but the same window will pop up.
Yes, exactly. Use the Q to quit both.
Can you use the
So
man? Let's see.
yes, if I do man ls, this is it. It has opened a new window, and then I can scroll through and I can quit it, and then I'm back to where I started from. You have any question? So I'm still not done. Let me just put in more explanation on redirection. So for example, if I do ls-l, you know it is long format, right? Let me clear. So I want to put that long format into a file called long format dot txt. Show that it is in. Okay. So if I check what is inside that long format, if I do less long format dot txt, can you see? This is what is inside. I've put that command ls-l into it. Let me put it. Okay. So you are redirecting that output that will come on your screen normally and putting it into a file. Okay. So you know I can do cards long as well. It's still the same thing. It will display it. And inside this thing I have all this. Okay. So there's another thing. So if I want to add something to this space, I can just say cat what is inside file or new file. Cat what is inside new file and put it, don't delete what is there before, put it inside long format.txt. If I press enter now and I check what is inside my long format now, which is left long format.txt, you see that I have this one and I have I am a woman, I am a man. Which is, do you have questions? Do you have questions?
No, no, go ahead.
Good. Alright. So that is that, and that is what this place is explaining. It's telling you that each time the command above is repeated, that's if you use just this one, the one above is repeated, okay, if the file list.txt is overwritten from the beginning with the output of the command ls, okay, to have the new result append to the file, we use this double greater than sign. Okay, so that's it. So when the results are appended, the new results are added to the end of the file, thus making the file longer each time the command is repeated. Okay, so what that place is telling us is that if we have, for example, ls, right? Ls would list this thing. So if I say ls, put the output inside a file called list.txt, for example. Okay, it has worked. So I now say ls and I do like this. Okay, let me just do something like this. ls, I'm saying put the output inside this. It has put it, right? So if I list all the things I have that new file list.txt here. So if I cut what is inside list.txt, I have those lists, right, of all the files inside. So let me clear. If I do it again, that list everything inside list.txt and I press it, I do it again, list it. It is just it is still one thing that is inside. It is just deleting what is inside before, put the new ls inside. Deleting what is inside before, put the new. If I still cut what is inside list.txt and I press enter, you see that it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. But if I do it this way and say list what is inside, right? I first did it the first time, and then the second time I said don't delete what you meet inside, leave what you meet, and then do this and then put the new list, and I continue like this. If I try to check what is inside and I say cat list.txt. Can you see that the file is now long? Because I wasn't deleting what is inside before. I was just appending it. So to say file 1, file 2, list this, list this. And then file 1, file 2, list this. And then file 1, file 2 again. Because I was doing it on and on. So this greater than sign will just double, will just append. We keep appending. You are just putting that display into this part, putting the display into this part, putting the display into this part, putting what else as this into that file. Okay, so let me clear my screen. And if I do this, where is it? I do ls dash l in addition, press enter, check what is inside. You will see that it has listed everything and even did ls dash l under it. Okay, so it's as simple as that. So do we get that? Should we continue? So I think that's it for redirecting standard output. So anything that is coming out, you are redirecting it into a file. Okay, so using both greater than sign and double greater than sign. The first greater than sign is to delete whatever is inside that file before and put the new thing. Or this one is to append. Don't delete what you need there and put in it. Okay, so should I continue?
Yes, please go ahead.
So the second one, we have standard input. Okay, so this one is something coming. You want to type something inside. Okay, so for example, the best way to explain this, I won't really do much, is we used to do ls. Okay, so let's say inside this file called list me. Okay, I have a file called list me and there's ls inside. Okay, escape delete. So let me remove all these files I've created so I won't confuse you. Remove file 1, file 2, list txt. Okay, so let's say we have a file called list me, and inside this list me we have just ls. Okay, so if I want to do that ls, I will use less than sign, showing that it is coming into the computer, and then I'll say list me. Okay, when I press enter now, it would redirect what is inside and then paste it here. Okay, so normally it's supposed to say ls itself, but for output there's something else that you need to do. But basically that's how it works. It's as if I'm now bringing what is inside this place, I'm bringing it to my uh, my computer now. So now ls that is inside there is coming inside this place. Okay, so let's continue. It says for standard input, many commands can accept input from the facility called standard input. By default, standard input gets its content from the keyboard, like I said. But like standard output, it can be redirected. So to redirect standard input from a file instead of the keyboard. So instead of using the keyboard now, we want to use the file to redirect it. He said you use this one. Okay, so you use this character. So for example, he said that this is a file. Inside the file there will be so many things inside, and then we pass it into a command saying sort. So this sort is supposed to sort out everything that we have inside this command into the system. Okay, so it's like this one is now acting like it already made words of a keyboard. Okay, so in the example above, we use the sort command to process the content of this file. So the results are output on the display since the standard output was not redirected. Okay, so we could redirect standard output. Okay, so go back. So let me write some things inside this list, for example. So let me see here list, and then I say number one. This is me. Number four. I am good. Number two. Where are you? Number 10. I am at the bus stop. And then number 4. Yes. Okay.
We already have number 4. Maybe you should turn it to 3.
Okay. It doesn't matter. No worry.
Okay.
So what I'm doing now is I'll say okay, and list. So I want to sort, okay, but I want to sort some words, okay, but instead of typing those words one by one, those words, I'm using a file to act as my keyboard. So that is what input. I'm using this file to input this thing into the stuff. So if you see this sort, I think it doesn't work with number though, because it's not actually okay. It's actually sorted it because this number 10 is not what started with the file. So I want to see how it sort it. I think one. Okay, so it did. This is one. This one is acting as one. I think this one is acting as one, and then this one is another one, and then 2, and then 4, and then 4. So this, I think this one, I think is thinking it is 1.0. I don't know. I
I
don't know.
think in computer is actually from 0 to 9.
Yeah, it's actually from 0 to 9. I'm
Yeah.
thinking 10 should be. So I don't know why it's put this 10 up, but let me do it this way.
Because it's seeing it as decimal or something. It's lesser than.
Yeah, it's seeing it as decimal. That's what I'm thinking. So let me just put. Let me put 9 here. Oh, sorry. 9. So let us clear it. So we are sorting it, and we are redirecting what we sorted from the list. So yes, so this one, it has rearranged it for us, right? So we are sorting, okay, but instead of typing all those words, we are using this one to type in, and then because if we are, so if the display now, this display now, I can then still redirect it somewhere else and say that okay, list me is let me clear it. If the cat list me, can you see 14294, right? Okay, so now we want to sort it, and we are saying list me. Okay, so I want to sort all these things, right? It's supposed to help me sort it and display it here. Instead of displaying it, I can display it here actually, right? So I can also do like this, and then that display, I will redirect it to say sorted. Okay, so if I write list, I have sorted. If I check what is inside sorted, I have what is supposed to display after I've imputed this thing into sort. What is supposed to display, I've put it inside sorted. So when I check what is inside sorted, it is the sorted one that is there. Is it getting confusing?
Yes, it's clear.
It's that's wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. Okay. So in this example, we use the sort command to process the content of the file disk. The results are output on the display since the standard they said since it is not redirected, but now we now redirected. We could redirect the standard output to another file like this. So they did this and then they redirected it to the sorted file like this. Said as we can see, a command can have both its input and output redirected, as we've seen. And then be aware that the order of redirection does not matter. So the only requirement is that you are using your this and this at the right time. Okay, so that's basically that. So that's that on standard input and standard output. And since we have no question yet, I think when we start practicing on projects, we would master them. So we have pipeline. So we have two more things to do: pipeline and filter. Okay. So pipeline. So for pipeline, this is what the symbol for pipeline. Okay. So piping is like you are doing jointing. You are joining words together. You are joining two commands together in order to form a long pipe. Okay. So the most useful and powerful thing we can do with input and output redirection is to connect multiple commands together to form what we call pipelines. Okay, so we are connecting commands together. With pipeline, the standard output of one command is fed into the standard input of another. So what that one is saying is the output of one command. So if we say cat list me, the output we feed it into another pipeline. So this one we use where is the pipeline? In this, sorry, yeah, this thing. So we are feeding the for pipeline instead of using the redirection, we are using this. So this output that is supposed to display, we are piping it, we are joining it. That okay, there's still something else coming. Instead of just putting it inside the file, we are piping it and say, cut this. This one is holding it. This bar is serving as a, let me say, a reservoir that is holding that command. So it says hold this command, and then we can add another command here, and then it will. This thing is you add okay. This one will hold it, and then okay, that's when we go into filter. So let's see. I don't want to use the word filter yet because we've not gotten there. So he said the most useful and powerful thing we can do with IO redirection is to connect pipeline commands together to form what we okay this. The pipeline, the standard output of one command is fed into the standard input of another. Here is a full example. So we are listing in long format and piping it and then putting less. So he said in this example, the output of the ls command is fed into less by using this pipe symbol. Okay, so we can make any command have scrolling output. Okay, so the less would make the command have scrolling output. So let's try something. Let me see. Do we have something inside this listing? Okay, so let us say cat list me and let us type it and say less. So the less we know what less are what less is normally, right? So instead of saying that let me say okay, so instead of just viewing a command, we can add that less. You know, less is to view something, right? Is to view a file. So instead of just doing less and viewing a file, we can have a lot of a lot of text on our screen that is supposed to be displayed on our screen, and then pass it to the less for us to view that thing in a new window as a less as what less would do initially. Okay, so for example, if you have ls dash l, sorry, my cat plugged in. So if you have ls dash l, normally you are supposed to have all this, right? But I want to open because ls dash l is not a file, but I want to open it using the less kind of interface. So I'll do ls dash l, and then I'll pipe it. I'll say pass through the less, okay, and then it will open it as a less. Okay, so that's what that place is telling me. So let me just say I don't know, I think I should be able to say cat list me, type it with ls dash l. I don't know if this is possible. And then let's it still works. Still works. Okay, but it's not showing the content of this guy. I think it has filtered it. Yeah. Okay. So that's basically just a tip of that. So pipe is just to um, join two commands together. Okay. It's not really redirecting and pasting it. It's just joining it. Like this command, this place will hold it and then it will pass through this next command. So by connecting commands together, we can accomplish amazing feats. Here are some examples. So we have just three examples and then we go to filters, which is the last one. Okay. So we have ls-lt, okay, and then head. So this one if we do ls-lt and then head. Normally head is used to display, so this head is acting like a filter used to display the first lines of a file. Okay, tail is used to display the last line of a file. Okay, so ls we want to display ls dash l long format. If you do this one normally dash lt, they are supposed to just have this, right? So if we do it like this and pipe it with head, because it is not really long, so we might have the same thing. We will have the same thing. Okay, but if you have, where is it? Let me clear it. ls, list me, I think. List me. List me. Okay, I want to add some things to it. You should have more than enough. Okay. Or let me do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so if you look at this file now, we have a lot of content in it, right? Escape, delete key. Okay, so now we cut the content and we pipe it and say it will pass through the head. Head used to display the, I think, first 10 contents of the file. Okay, so as you can see, inside that file, it only displayed the first 10. Okay, so I can also do it like this and say display the first 10 and then I will redirect it. To redirect, I will pipe it and then I will say redirect it to a file called first 10. I don't know if this one will work, but let me try it. Okay, when I list it, I have a file called first 10. If I check what is inside the first 10, Start first thing now. I don't know. It's supposed to display what is inside. I don't know why it's not displaying. Let's, that didn't work. I don't know why. But anyway, where's the one we just did? List me, right? So if I can't list me normally, the content is really much. Okay, let me clear it. But if I want to display only the first 10, I will say cat list me, and then I'll pipe it and say head. That is going to show me the first 10 stuff. If I say cat and I say tail, it's going to show me the last 10. This is the last 10 inside. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. And then I can say cat list me, and I add head to it, and I pipe it, and I say tail. I'm not sure if this one will work too. Okay, still showing me the first 10. There's a way to set number. Once I remember, I'll go through that. Okay, so the main thing we wanted to do is to do ls-lt and head, and then this one will display the 10 newest files in the current working directory. So it will head will display the first 10 normally. Okay, so du sort dash nl display
So,
a list of,
Olojubo,
yes,
so I wanted to ask the head does it take any other option? As in, for instance, you're doing ls dash lt, then you have your what's
yes.
it called? Is it writing time?
It
So
takes in some
you
it takes
can
in
open a bracket and put like two to see the first two.
Yes,
I
yes, you can do something like that.
oh,
Yes, it's
okay.
not open a bracket. You just do I think -2. I'll check. Let me check. I'm coming. Yes, you do -n and then the number. Okay, so you do.
Okay.
I'm coming.
Yeah, yeah, that's you're correct.
You should do cat listen uh, I think the number you now set number to be 3, something like this. Then it will show the first 3 content.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So you can have something like that. I think there's something I want to remember that too. Um, I'm coming. Okay, so yeah, I think I've gotten it. So this is what I wanted to do. I can pipe it and say, since this one I want to show this number 3, then I'll say cat list me. This is the first 3, and then it will pass through this place, and then I'll say till till -1. I think something like this. Yes. So what I'm doing now is that cat has a lot of content, like 1 million content, and I want to see what is on line 3. So what I did is I first listed all the first 3 lines, right? And then this is the first 3 lines. I didn't list it, or I just say you should list it and hold it. Then when it held that first 3 line here, I now displayed tail will start from bottom. So this one has the first, it's holding this one already. Then tail will start from 3. So I said tail will this, because I know if I put ordinary tail will still display everything. So I now say tail just display 1, and tail starts from bottom. Then it displayed number 3. Okay, so piping is just to hold, pass through. It's like filtering through all this stuff. So let's just check this. And this one is for searching. And DDU sort dash enter. So this one says display a list of directories and how much space they consume. I think this one is directory usage or something. So that's the name of this DU. It is the space. This one is like space command for directory. So directory usage. So it says display a list of directories and how much space they consume. Okay. So this one is directory usage first. It will collect all the directory usage. It will pipe it, and then this one will sort it according to size. Okay. And then yes, from largest to smallest. And this NR, let me see. I think I checked on this one before. Let me see if I was facing it. NR, okay. And then it's let me just check. NR, yeah. Okay, I didn't check it then. Okay, so display the. So let's try this command out one second. We'll try it one by one. So let us clear this thing and do du. So it's showing me that this, let me ls. Okay, I don't have. It's only this redirect directory. It said in my directory redirect the size is 8. So let me go out where I have many directions and try this thing out. Okay, so if I do du now, oh my god, damn!
I've seen it.
I had to stop it. Someone wanted to join and the person couldn't join. Okay, this thing went in. I have to stop it. Okay, so
Okay,
yeah, I had
do
so
you right?
yes, DU will show you the size of directory and print the path of that directory where it is. All these ones are still hidden files directory. As you can see, they are starting from dots, showing that they are hidden files. So let me
Yeah.
see the into root and do DU. Okay, so many hidden files, hidden files. So all these are the directories. Okay, so we do DU, and then this is even too much. Sir, let me clear it. Can I have a directory that is not even much? Where can I see that? TWD, where am I? I mean, mm, let's go to let's go to Emacs 111. Do I have directories there? No. Okay, I know what to do. Where is it? Redirection. Redirect. So let me just make directories here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if I do DU, see, it's showing me that 1 has 0, 2 has 0, 3 has 0, 4 has 0, and then my normal directory has 8. So to make those one, I'll say touch, create a file called, or echo a file so that it will have space. Echo I am good into a file called, into a file in one dash money good. Let us file as one. Okay, let's just go cd ls these are the directories we created. So I'll say touch, should be able to do now, 4 dash 4 isn't touch. Let me just see the incidents. These are giving me issue. CD1. So let me create files here. Touch 1, file 2, file 3, CD out, screen, ls, let me go into 2, and then create file, touch 1, 2, CD out. Okay, so du now, so still showing me that it has no space. Okay, let me just do one more thing. CD1 and then echo into if you notice redirection, we've been doing it with this echo because echo command is supposed to just print whatever you put in front to the screen. For example, if I say echo I am good, it will reprint I am good, but I'm directing that word into file 1. We've been using it before, and that's the direction. This is the outside. Okay, so du